translates to, when is your daughter getting married? My daughter is of a marriageable age, and at a time in life when I'm being asked this question in my real life, I'm also being asked this question in my real life. Confused? This is a promo shoot I did for a Netflix show a couple of months ago. So now, is this me dancing at my daughter's wedding? Nope. Just having some fun with the crew at an ad shoot I did for Spotify. So maybe this is my son and granddaughter. Nope again. Just another day in my full time job as an actor, this time shooting for Kinder Joy. At a time in life when most people my age are winding down their lifelong careers, I get to be a Judge Sahiba in a TV serial called Choti Sardarni and in superstar Salman Khan's Dabang 3. Here you see me as a smartly dressed entrepreneur for Werfel. And here I get to portray a strict matron for V-Guard. Now, this photo I have selected for a specific reason, and I'll come back to it in just a sec. You must be wondering whether I'm the wife or relative of some Bollywood director who got me an entry into this world. Well, I'm not. And the reality is stranger than fiction. Picture this. I'm leading the life I wanted. I was hitting year 8 with a respectable job with Citibank, was married, had a baby, and was living the life I wanted. I had no desire and absolutely no driving force to ever be in the forefront. My husband, this is us. He used to handle stalls at exhibitions for different companies. One day, he was contracted by two separate companies to handle two individual stalls for the same event. Being short-handed, he asked me to handle the stall supplying workout equipment. Now, put this tiny lady in this photo, not this current one, next to bodybuilding products. And then imagine her selling it to four big Punjabi guys who walked over to the stall. One guy points to a product behind me and asks, "Oh जी, वो क्या है?" Sir, उसे पावर क्रशर कहते हैं. वो आपके बाइसेप्स और ट्राइसेप्स के लिए है. आप दिखाओ जी, यूज कैसे करना है. Now, till that day, I had never taken that product in hand and had no idea how to bend it. Not wanting to seem ignorant, I decided to give it a try. And lo, it bent. He says, "हम भी try करेंगे जी." So I picked another one up and gave it to him, waiting for him to try. He tried. Nothing. The second guy tried. Nothing. The third laughed at them, snatched and tried. Nothing. The fourth goes, "ये ना कंपनी ने आपको किरिक करके दिया होगा. आप हमें वो दो जी और ये आप बेंड करके दिखाओ." We exchanged and it bent. And he reacted, "Oh जी, कुड़ियों ने कर दिया, हम ना कर पाए." I sold four and I gave the company great whooping sales. That moment gave me a taste of what it was like to be in sales. And I loved the flavor of what I had tasted. I realized that I had sales and entrepreneurial capabilities. And so after a while, with my supportive husband and by then two children in tow, we moved cities from Bombay to Bangalore and bootstrapped our first company. Remember this picture I showed you where I was a strict matron? Well, I quite like my outfit in that. And it is with great pride that I can say that it is from the brand we started almost 25 years ago. My husband and me started an ethnic wear business back in the day, and if I can say so myself, we managed to create a small corner for ourselves in the hearts of Bangalorean. In a small 100 square feet residential store in Bangalore, we obtained great success. But as they say, whatever goes up must come down. In 2006, my husband, who was the backbone of the company, decided to pursue spirituality. I was suddenly left with the responsibility of managing our business, my ailing mother-in-law, our two children, and two dogs. The business took a hit, and I was battling 3 court cases as well. It was a very scary time for me. But I had no time to be scared. My son took up arms with me, and my daughter would come over after school to help out. We worked hard and soon became known as the Three Musketeers by our customers. Having always had a passion for learning, at the age of 44 in 2008, I pursued a woman entrepreneurship course with IIMB. Post the course, I launched an Indianized maternity and nursing wear brand. Now, this was during the recession times. And during recession, when people don't spend on wants, they do spend on needs. And the concept of conservative Indianized pregnancy work clothes was well loved. While here, I was climbing the ladder back up to success, I couldn't climb even a few steps. I was diagnosed with painful sciatica caused by a cyst in my lower spine. I healed gradually, but lack of movement because of the pain caused me to become obese. At 100 plus kgs, I couldn't lose weight, and this just added to my body image issues. I used to wear baggy clothes to cover up my size, which made me feel ugly, and that just added to my insecurities. Around that time, I was fortunate enough to go to England for my daughter's graduation. Whilst busy wearing my baggy clothes there, I saw women of all shapes and sizes around me wearing clothing which made them look and feel beautiful. I realized that I wanted to feel good about myself again. When women much bigger than me can like their bodies, then why can't I? So here, this is me in my big traditional bindi and in a little black dress my daughter and me bought to start my journey of self-love. After coming back to India, I changed up my wardrobe, stopped coloring my hair black, made efforts to not stoop so much, and gave myself constant positive affirmations. I used to stand in front of the mirror and tell myself that you're beautiful, worthy of being alive, and worthy of being loved. I love you, I told myself, I love you. Meanwhile, my 24-year-old business was failing very badly. And suddenly, I had no money with me at all. I didn't even have 100 rupees with me. This was an all-time low for me. And I was feeling like a failure. And one night, this failure flipped a switch in my mind. I was alone at home. My husband and daughter now lived in different cities, having moved on in their lives. My son, who was standing by me, had stepped out to meet someone. I was alone, both in the moment and in the world. I weighed my options. Should I walk out, leaving my phones behind without telling anyone? Or should I end the 54 years of my misery by taking my life? I was crying hysterically, oscillating between the two. Should I go, or should I end this? So many of us go through such experiences in life. But I wasn't alone, was I? My mother-in-law and son who lived with me would not be able to bear it. I realized then that though I was a fantastic salesperson, but I wasn't cut out for entrepreneurship. Now, after having pursued something for 24 years of my life, it's difficult to admit that maybe you were not cut out for it to begin with. And so, I closed down my business and decided to retire. I came to a decision that rather than taking my own life, I would take the life of my baby, my dying company. After retirement, I could live off my now earning children if I wanted, but I had so much energy and so many different ideas. I decided to map out my life. I gave up a cushy corporate career to become an entrepreneur. I lost my partner in business, gained tons of body image issues, and saw my career skyrocket. Then, I corrected the lenses of my self-loathing and fell in love with my grey hair. And now, I can trace you back as to how I came to be in a movie with superstar Rajnikant without having a godfather above me. I was privileged back then to receive a call from a friend asking if I would like to be in an ad for Honda. Now, having accepted several Filmfare Awards in the mirror in my childhood, this was a dream come true for me. At the prime of my youth, my mother had said no because अच्छे घर की लड़कियां ये सब नहीं करती. But my present family encouraged me. And that's how, At the age of 51, I was in my first ad as a grandma for Honda. I realized I loved being in front of the camera and wasn't one bit self-conscious of it. While here, I was getting to star in more and more ads and short films, my business was failing. And as you know, I closed it down. But now, standing here today, was that going to mean that I was going to take an early retirement? Nope. So just after my 55th birthday, I packed all my bags and moved to Mumbai to start a brand new career in acting. Like a 20-year-old starting fresh, I lived in a PG and was impatiently waiting next to my phone, waiting for my first casting call. My phone rang. And as luck would have it, I was asked if I would like to be cast in a serial for a day. And what luck! Here I was with a shoot on my second day in Mumbai. Post that, I made my rounds of casting directors and production houses like a young struggling actor. It's been nearly a year now, and I'm still doing a lot of auditions. The only difference between me and a young struggling actor is the crew see my grey hair and offer me a place to sit. I've been truly blessed, as I have been cast in a number of ads where I am visible. In superstar Shah Rukh Khan's voting video, I can be seen shaking a leg. My first movie shoot was with South Indian superstar Mr. Rajnikant for his movie Darbar, which released in cinemas just recently and in which I play a fairly good role. I can be seen as a judge in several scenes in Salman Khan's Dabangg 3. I have a few other big banner offers too, and I'm working very hard every single day to get more. In everyone's lives, there come many ups and downs and many turning points. But there's no point in just sitting at the curve, looking at the past and doing a postmortem on it. Throughout my life, I've worked on reinventing myself. I went from being a conservative corporate career woman to an adventurous entrepreneur. I then pivoted my business to change with the changing times. Then I went through the roller coaster ride of loving, then hating, then accepting, then falling in love with myself again. Today, as I stand here at the age of 56, I know my struggle as an actor has just begun. Sometimes the crews I work with ask me why I don't cab it down, but change trains and buses to reach the shoot. The work is hard and the pay just enough to get by. And so I tell them that I must save. It is a struggle, but I've never been more content, and it is all worth it. Today, I can pursue any career I want through my acting. I can be a judge, a matron, a Parsi auntie, a teacher, anything. Every day, I get an opportunity to be a better person of myself than I was yesterday. So what's next for me? In the new year, I fully resolved to learn how to swim and work on my body image of myself by wearing a swimsuit and not worrying too much about what will people think of me when I wear it. Maybe I'll dabble in some voiceover work for audiobooks and podcasts. And maybe I'll go on to more stages like this to motivate more people to join with hands with me and share the lessons I've learned. Let me summarize them for you. 1. Be open and adapt to change. We have a habit of saying, अरे पर हम तो ऐसे ही हैं. लेकिन अब समय आ गया है बदलने का. And as times are changing, it's important we change with them. And 2. Be as curious as you were when you were a child. Remember when you believed in Santa Claus and the tooth fairy? Somehow the gift always appeared below the tree and the money below the pillow for your fallen tooth. We have a wonderful world out there waiting for us to explore. So let's go forth and explore it. And so, I urge each of you to take each curveball life throws at you and swing your bat hard at it. Whether you hit it or not is not important, as you are never too old to start something new and never too young to take on a challenge, because age is just a number. Thank you.